How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Coca-Cola company teaching its employees to be less white. You heard that right. I did not make it up. You got to be less white. And they're teaching this in an internal meeting, but the source material is not hitting at all. As a matter of fact, the person that is behind the source material is Robin DiAngelo, and she wrote that book called White Fragility. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments below. But here is the actual source material available right here on LinkedIn Learning. Like, I'm right here. This is an actual website. Okay, there's a preview page and everything else. So it's right here. I think all Coke did was put their logo on top of it, but it's right here available for free. And I'll put a link to this in the box below. If you want to get behind the paywall, do whatever you want to do and see it, you can see it for yourself. But here is the actual slides that were captured from the whistleblower. And shout out to Carolyn Borosenko for putting this on the Twitter so we're all able to see it. And you see what she wrote right over there. It says, breaking, Coca-Cola is forcing employees to complete online training, telling them to try to be less white. These images are from an internal whistleblower. And you see it right there on the screen. It's pretty clear. And you see right there where it says, confronting racism with Robin DiAngelo. Try to be less white. All right. That's just what it is straight from the beginning. And that's not the end. Let's go to the very top. And you see it's a whole presentation over here. I'll duck out of the way in a minute. Matter of fact, how about I just go to this particular side? Let's try that. Okay. Cool beans. Now you see it right there. Confronting racism, understanding what it means to be white, challenging what it means to be racist. All right. Now, this is a kind of it's kind of contradicting. All right, you're talking about being racist and how it's bad to be racist, which I think that it's not a good thing to be racist. But at the same time, you're talking about trying to be less white and understanding what it means to be white. So by you telling me to not be racist, you're pushing racist ideology right in front of my face. I'm having a hard time figuring out how this is not racist, but we'll keep on going. All right. Now, here's a list. To be less white is to be less oppressive, be less certain. Let's pause for a minute. Oppressive, arrogant, and certain. How are any of these qualities linked to a particular skin color? How does that really happen? Certainty. So if you are uncertain, doesn't mean that you are more black or more of a person of color or colored person, however you want to say it nowadays in 2021, whichever way is more fashionable and not too old hat sounding, more bougie sounding. But anyway, I digress. Oppressive. I mean, oppressing how? I mean, I'm seeing plenty of these white heroin addicts that are not oppressing anybody. They're oppressing themselves. So if you're talking about people that are on the street, homeless, banging needles, oppressing themselves, maybe you got a point. But oppressing others, who is doing that? I don't know. But anyway, be less ignorant. So you're ignorant and oppressive. Don't you got to be a little bit knowledgeable to be oppressive of others? Like I say, if you're oppressing yourself, that could probably stem from ignorance. You don't know what you're doing. But if you're oppressing others, how can you be at the same time ignorant? It doesn't make any sense at all. Be more humble. Again, just attacking people. Listen, believe, really vague words. Basically, hey, whatever I tell you about how you're a white person, you're the scum of the earth, you pretty much got to take it, right? You got to take it, and there's no questioning about what I'm talking about, right? Break with white solidarity. What does that mean? What is white solidarity? Is there some kind of, uniform definition of what that means? Is there a particular way that all white people think? I can't tell. Look at the election. Half of white folks voted for Biden, half of them voted for Trump. Where's the white solidarity at? It doesn't make any sense. And break with apathy, what are you talking about? Let's keep on going here. In the U.S. and other Western nations, white people are socialized to feel that they are inherently superior because they are white. Now, if that's true, I'm not saying it's not true, but hold on, watch this. If that's true, then who's doing this? If I'm being forced these kind of presentations talking about how white people are superior and they're the top of the food chain and they must do things to help other people, then maybe I'm learning it from you guys that are trying to push critical race theory. Okay, maybe I'm learning it from you. You see, it's funny because the left, people like this, they think that they are doing a woke thing. They're trying to fight against racism, but they're just pushing it. They are the exact same as the white supremacists they talk about all the time, being this big bad boogeyman. They're the exact same. The only difference is that the white supremacist does not feel guilty about their status in society, but the white liberal, the white, white guilt, white liberal feels like, oh, I feel so bad about being the best, and I feel so bad about being superior, all this and that. So I got to do things to not only self-deprecate, but try to quote unquote help others, which does not actually help them, but it helps me to feel good about being so privileged and all this and that. You never see the down and out white guy out here talking about white privilege. You always see the people that have money and they're doing things, and they have themselves as like the experts of those that are not doing well, of the black community, Hispanics, or whatever. Okay. And that's not to say the entire group of us that are not doing well, but since they see a problem with poverty among certain peoples or in certain peoples, then they feel like everybody in the whole racial group must fit under that category. So even guys like me that are not doing poorly, we're put into the pot of those that are doing poorly, which is so silly. But anyway, research shows that by age 3 to 4, children understand that it is better to be white. So are you admitting it right here? Are you saying that it is better to be white? But at the same time, you're trying to tell me that it's not better to be white? It's just kind of confusing. I think that was it for the slides. But we got to get into this whole thing about critical race theory, because I'm seeing it a lot, not only for corporations like Coca-Cola. And if you were able to see, that's a logo right there on the top right-hand corner of the screen. But again, this particular subject matter, you can see that right there on LinkedIn Learning. And again, the link will be in the description box below. It's behind the paywall on LinkedIn. I don't get any money from that at all. I'm not trying to like promote that, obviously. But again, don't take my word for it. You can see it for yourself. You can research it and see what's going on. All right. But are they trying to tell us that being white is better? Let's go to critical race theory right quick and see what they have on Britannica.com as a definition. Critical race theory, CRT, the view that the law and legal institutions are inherently racist, and that race itself, instead of being biologically grounded and natural, is a socially constructed concept that is used by white people to further their economic and political interests, control, dominant, superiority. That's what they want to say, but they're not saying it, at the expense of people of color. So basically, they're trying to lift themselves up, and the only way they can do that is by, quote unquote, oppressing me. All right. According to the critical race theory, racial inequality emerges from the social, economic, and legal differences that white people create between races, quote unquote races, to maintain elite white interests in labor markets and politics, giving rise to poverty and criminality in many minority communities. So basically, if you got people out here running and gunning in the black community, it's because of the white man. This is a really fancy way of saying blame the white man. Okay. I say that all the time as a joke, blame the white man. If I'm late for a live stream, oh, it ain't my fault, blame the white man. They're saying that right here, and they're trying to push that to you for real. Like K through 12, we'll talk about that also, and higher education, college, and in the workplace, everywhere. The CRT movement officially organized itself in 1989 at the first annual workshop on critical race theory, though its intellectual origins go back much further to the 60s and 70s. All right, there's a lot more here. Again, I put this link in the box so you can see it for yourself. But yeah, this ain't the first time this has been done. Coca-Cola is just the latest bandwagoner of critical race theory. This is why Trump banned it on the federal level. You see what it is. It's just racism being force-fed to you. Not just that Coke. I think Goodyear did this. One of these tire places did this. I don't want to say Goodyear and be wrong, but it was a tire place that did this. Then you have people just regular jobs where they work at talking about this. This is kind of the wave now. I saw it. I did a video about this the other day, talking about the 8 white identities. And there was a list of 8 identities you have as a white person that was sent to kids' parents of a school in New York City, from grade 6 through 12. If you were a white parent, you were given this list. And on the list, it had 8 identities. It went from white supremacist on down to white abolitionists. And obviously, if you were like the white supremacist, that's the worst thing. But if you're a white abolitionist, you are the best. You are the ideal white person. You want to stand for Black Lives Matter. You'll just lay your body down at the altar of Black Lives Matter. You'll put your body on the ground in front of a police car to prevent traffic from going forward because solidarity, Black Lives Matter. You got to be that kind of white person, basically a crash test, to be accepted by these people. And also, there was this thing at Smithsonian. I did a video about that a while back where they had this brochure. It was like a 6-page brochure. I forget how many pages it was, but it was quite a few pages. And then they were talking about how like all the positive traits that white people had, and they were talking about how this isn't really a good standard to have, and we should not hold everybody to the same standard. Basically saying that white people were able to do good things and they were able to accomplish a lot in their lives, but so-called people of color cannot do it. They're talking about being anti-racist and woke, but really they're very racist and they're sleeping. People that have a brain see what's going on, but Robin DiAngelo and Tim Wise, all these guys are out there just getting money off of this. Okay, they're getting money off of this, and companies are not trying to get in a situation where they get accused of being racist and canceled. Then the money's on the line. Stock market price falls. It's kind of a trap. A lot of them don't really want to do this. They don't want to be involved with it, but once you go against the grain, it can be difficult for you to move forward. And some of them do want to do this. Some of them have these idealistic CEOs in there that want to push a company like this. All right, they're liberals anyway, so they feel like this is the right thing to do. In reality, it's a bad thing to do. The more that liberals, so-called, quote unquote, help the black community, Hispanics, everybody else, it does more damage. We're trying to get away from that so-called help. We see that it doesn't work. It just causes more division, more strife. It does not benefit us in any kind of way positive. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about Coca engaging in critical race theory? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. Is it good? Is it bad? How do you feel about the other places doing the exact same thing? Is it a trend? Is it a fad? Is it the right thing to do? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I stand. I am against critical race theory. All that it does is create more division, more confusion, more anger, more unnecessary stuff we don't need. We just don't need it, period. I don't see how anybody thinks this is a good thing. Some are going to say it's a good thing because they feel like they have to say it's a good thing, but it's not. It just creates more division. A lot of it's not true, and it's racist. I'm not a racist person, and I don't think most people are, so why would they endorse a racist thing like critical race theory? Makes no sense to me, but whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.